5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So Karen yells, Darth, God damn it! How many times do I have to tell you not to put cinnamon in the coffee grinds? Karen, last week you told me you liked the cinnamon. Don't you fucking roll your eyes at me. I can feel you doing it under that stupid mask. I sense the hate in you, Karen. I really, really feel that hate. Like all of it.
Oh, welcome to the Scafaci-verse.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Scafaci-verse. I am Anthony Scafaci.
And I'm Alan Gigax.
And we have our first ever actual in-studio right here with us, present guest.
Yeah, that's
today.
true.
Yep, and so we're going to introduce him now. We're going to do some stuff with him today. This is our lifelong friend. His name is Trever, and he has been playing college football with us since we were just wee pups.
That's
and
true.
We're going to get into his story a little bit here. But, you know,
Trevor, lean into the mic and say hi to everybody.
Say hi, Trevor.
Hello, everyone.
Yep.
Hey, all right.
And so we're going to get into, our normal thing, and
Yeah.
we're going to talk to Trevor and kind of, see how he's doing.
You know how good we are? We now have a setup that we got 3 microphones going, we got 3 headphones going, and we're all like in the same room, all getting. This
Dude,
is
we're
so
in the
fucking
studio,
cool. Dude. We're in
yeah.
the studio. This is like real podcast and shit here.
Yes.
This is good.
One day we may even get paid.
Well, on that note, we have a sponsor because we have a Just the Tip today,
Yeah.
which is brought by our guest, Trever.
Yeah.
And so the sponsor for today's Just the Tip is Rock Hard Caulk. When you need it hard and you need it to last, Rock Hard Caulk.
All right.
All right.
So Trevor, he's a bit of a savant, I would say. He's got
He's
his
calling
moments.
you an idiot, Trevor.
Yeah. Well, you didn't have to say that out
fine.
loud.
Yeah.
Right. But one of his most genius things is going to be in this tip.
Yeah.
And it's what he used to do when he got sick.
Yeah, if we'd have known about this in 2020, we wouldn't have had a COVID pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so
All
Trevor,
right.
what is your tip for when you get sick?
All right, so this originally happened senior prom. I had a hot date. I needed to be there. And so I took 6 Sudafed and drank a 40 of Mickey's malt liquor, and it cleared me right up, and I was able to go to senior prom.
This is in high school you did this.
Now, what was the
That's
time
awesome.
lapse from the time you took the Sudafed, drank the 40? Like, how much before prom did you have to, take it?
It was probably like 2 hours.
Oh, my God. So when that Sudafed kicked in...
Well, that's the stimulant, right?
Yeah.
That cuts off the Mickeys.
Oh, my
So you get all the decongestion. You get the wiring from the ephedra. That would soon be, meth.
Did you run to
then-
prom?
Yeah, you got to remember, this was back when the cold medicine was good.
Yeah.
Before you had to get it over the counter. So it
Right.
dried me right up. And then I had the energy.
Yeah.
And I had a slight buzz, and
Right,
I was ready
the
to party.
Mickeys will take the edge off a little bit. Yeah, it'll help slow you down just enough.
Yeah, so there you go, everybody.
That's
so
awesome,
if
man.
you're not feeling well today, maybe before you go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You could just slam 6 Sudafed, blast out a Mickey's 40, and then just head right into work.
Right. If you're still sick the next day, you have to go to a different pharmacy to get 6 more Sudafed.
Yeah, but it worked for Trevor, and this was back in 1991, 92. When was this?
1994.
1994. Yeah.
Good
Man,
times,
holy
dude.
hell, that's a hell of a tip, dude.
God
Hey,
damn.
you're welcome.
Yeah, comes out firing.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get into today's topic, and today's topic is actually just the 3 of us.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We've known each other. I've known Trevor since he was in high school, and Alan, you must have met him right around then, but you were living in San Diego at the time, I think. Or
right
maybe-
after high school.
Yeah.
I
I met
went
Trevor in
before.
high school, but then as we got older, right, like this is fast forward a few years after graduation and college and all that stuff, and now we're just young 20-somethings, and
Young,
we need,
dumb, and full of cum.
yeah, we need to live somewhere, right? And
Yeah.
so at the time, I had lived with my girlfriend at the time. Our relationship ends. You two are already living together. How long
Right.
did you guys live together?
So there had been a variety of roommate situations, essentially right after high school. Like all of
Yeah.
us took turns. Maybe
Well, I lived with
Everybody
Rex
but-
forever.
I was just gonna say we all took turns like living with Rex.
Yeah.
But no, you lived with Rex when he was out of the house. Like we lived in Rex's house for wayward teens.
Yeah, well, that was
Art's
like
house.
that.
His
Yeah, that
dad's
was like
house.
you guys were still like in high school or something, right?
Yeah, because at one point, like I think you lived with Rex after he got out of the Marine Corps because
No,
you guys had like a grown-up
before he
apartment.
went to the Marine Corps.
Oh, okay.
That was when he moved out. Was when he joined the Marines.
That's right. And me and Andre were such fucking losers. We still stayed like sleeping on the
Yeah.
couch at his dad's house because we couldn't afford more than $100 a month in rent.
Oh my god, cleaning the floors.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Oh, dude.
so, but at some point, you and Trevor moved in together,
Right. Yeah, we all would kind of just trade up roommates
Yeah.
every now and again. And at one point, Trevor and I became roommates at this place called Montego Bay, and we had a 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
And it was fine. It was comfortable.
I'm sure it
Dude,
was.
I got to tell you, being roommates with Trevor is pretty easy as long as you don't expect much. Because it was like, Trevor doesn't cause problems. Trevor doesn't go crazy.
No,
it's just easy.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything.
And there were problems in the house. Like, for example, back when we were all broke, Trevor, remember, we would always make Kool-Aid and put the Kool-Aid in the fridge. I don't know if you remember this as well as I do.
I don't remember this at all.
Okay, well, I definitely remember it. And the problem was we would make Kool-Aid and then somebody would finish the Kool-Aid and not refill it. You know,
Okay.
with more Kool-Aid, because we're fucking broke. You
Yeah.
survive on ramen and Kool-Aid. And so so we made a rule. Like, okay, if you empty the Kool-Aid, you have to refill it.
Did you make a rule? Because
Probably.
Trevor probably didn't agree to this rule.
That doesn't
You just
sound like
made
me
a rule.
making rules either.
Yeah. And so then what would happen is somebody would just leave like an inch of Kool-Aid in the bottom.
Just enough.
I didn't empty it.
It's not empty,
Right.
yeah.
And so we had to modify the rule that says like once you get down to like 3 inches, you got to add more. And you know, you can't just leave a little bit left. But that shit was easy. It was so nice. As long as like, you know, you didn't expect like the floors to be cleaned all the
Sure,
time or
well,
whatever. But
yeah.
we're fucking teenagers. Who cares?
Yeah, or early 20s, like
Yeah.
the cleanest apartment.
Right.
Not really that important.
Right. Everything was easy breezy until your girlfriend finally dumped you, Anthony.
Yeah, so that relationship ended.
Yeah.
And I had been living in this really nice apartment way out on South Las Vegas Boulevard. And the fact is that it just got to a point where like I was losing money and I wasn't going to be able to sustain it.
Right, because she had moved out, right?
Yeah,
so you were there by yourself.
she had moved out months before.
Right.
And I was just absorbing it and trying to figure out how I could like make it work. And it wasn't going to work. Like I could see the future. The future was I was going to eventually I wasn't going to make it through to the end of the lease.
Right.
And so I'd have to move out early.
Right.
And so I forgot.
This had to be about the beginning of you ruining your credit.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Yeah.
Right. And so I contacted you guys and I was like, hey, you know, I need somewhere to go.
Right.
And you guys, thankfully, being, you know, buddies and everything like that, were like, yeah, come on. You know, you can just move in with us. And then I think we even talked about, and then we'll just get a 3-bedroom as soon as.
Right. Because in the meantime, Trevor, how many bedrooms do we have there?
We had 2 bedrooms.
Yeah.
And did Anthony sleep in your room?
No.
No, he sure didn't.
Yeah. No,
Anthony
so-
slept in my room
Yes,
on my
we-
king-size waterbed.
We spooned.
Yes,
yeah.
we did.
Hey, man, we've been
We
through a
would
lot
fuck
together.
like beasts in there.
No, we would not.
No, that's true.
But so, you know, I wind up moving in, and dude, I don't have much stuff. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't even know what I did with my bed and things like that. It just went
if
fucking
we had
somewhere.
that to do now, somebody would probably sleep on the floor or the couch.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'd share a bed with another
No,
dude,
not
especially with how handsy Trevor is.
Yeah. So I wind up moving in, and this actually wound up being ultimately a pretty good deal, right? Because
For you.
Well, I paid rent. You know, I paid a third, so
Oh.
it made it cheaper for you guys. And you know, but now the 3 of us living together, dude, it was a lot of fun.
It was fun. I'll
You
grant
know,
you that.
we had a lot of fun, and a lot of that fun came from, dude, just we were able to play video games together. You know, we hung out together.
This was the early days of, like, Bill Walsh.
Yeah,
Right.
well, I mean, it had to be. I mean, it had to be. You know, the early days. Well, the early days of Bill Walsh started at our apartment over on Ramrod. That's
Okay.
where.
Was this after that?
No, this was before that because that was
Right.
when me and Rex lived together.
Yeah. Okay. So,
and you and Rory lived together.
right. So,
Yeah.
anyway, dude, this is all for the listener. Dude, when we were playing back then, like we had the neighbor kid. I want to talk about.
We'll get to him.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't want to get back into when we first started playing Bill Walsh, when everybody on the game had the option.
Yeah.
Ran the option. That's
Right.
when the game first started.
Good
There was only a
times.
few teams, and eventually there became more. But
Right.
But anyway, so when we all lived together, though,
Trevor keeps leaning into the microphone like he's going to say something, and then
Rich still doesn't pause
Anthony
at all
doesn't.
for us to talk.
no,
ahead.
he doesn't. Yeah,
no. So go ahead, Trevor.
You can
got something-
interrupt.
Yeah,
You
feel
have
free
to.
Yeah, jump in there.
yeah.
So
What
thanks
do you
to
remember about it?
Well, thanks to Rich moving in with us and saving us some money, I was able to afford a Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
And that's when we got Madden, and that's the game we played a lot at that
Nice.
place.
Yeah,
Good
so
times.
the main thing I remember though was like that we had the neighbor kid when we lived over in Montego, Bay.
Yeah.
And the neighbor kid was Wiggles and Jiggles. And
Yeah.
he was like, what? What do you got?
No, he was I'd say autistic kid nowadays.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Wiggles
some
and
kind of
Jiggles lived
retard.
across. Wiggles and Jiggles lived across the street from Alan's parents.
That's right. So
Oh,
are we
that's
conflating
right, dude,
the
we
two?
are. No, dude, I don't think so. I think he lived at Montego Bay, and he would come over to where my parents were from time to time to play street football with us.
No, he lived right across from the street from your parents, Wiggles and Jiggles. I don't
So-
remember the autistic kid. He lived next door to us, and
or
he would
right above
come
us
over.
or something.
No, it was right next to us,
Yeah.
and he'd come over
Okay.
because we'd be out there throwing the football around. He'd come
Yeah.
over and throw with us.
That's two separate people?
Yeah, and then he'd
Oh,
For
shit.
years.
he'd come inside and play video games with
Yeah,
us.
I remember
and
that.
He would talk shit about how good he was.
I remember that too. All of this, we have ascribed
Yes.
to Wiggles and Jiggles.
Yeah, no, and he was awful, and he was so bad. We'd beat him like 70-0.
Yeah.
That Rich wouldn't play him anymore, and then the kid would give Rich an old NES game to play him.
I remember all that. Yeah, right. He would have to like bribe us to play him.
Yeah, I needed some collateral or something to get
Yeah.
out of it.
Right, because he would talk shit.
Yeah,
about how
he just
good he was.
dude. He just wanted to play. He just wanted to have friends, and we
that's good
We took
times.
advantage of that. He couldn't have been more than like 13 or 14 years old,
Yeah, that's about
Yeah.
right.
right? And he would come over, and I
Yeah,
remember,
I remember distinctly because the age of consent was 15.
but I remember, I would tell him like you could pick my team, and you could pick any team you want, and it
Right.
just didn't matter. I
Yeah.
mean, like the kid wasn't any good, and he was cheeks, as they say today, and so. But would you ever play him, Trevor?
Yeah, it was the same thing. He'd have to give us Marble Madness or Contra or something, and then you'd destroy him.
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, "I'll go home and get another game, and we'll run it back."
Oh,
my
dude.
God.
Good times.
And so, where were you working at this point?
I had when I first moved out with Alan, I was working at
Godfathers?
famous footwear.
Oh, famous. Oh, I forgot about that.
I was assistant manager there, and then I went to Payless because my buddy Chuck got me
The
a job
Chizza.
there, and
Yeah.
that was a nice raise. It was like another 80 cents an hour.
Damn,
Damn.
baller.
And then shortly after that, that's when I got my dream job. Steve Douglas got me the job at the beach, a place to party.
Steve worked at the
nightclub.
beach.
Yeah, his brother got him the job there. He was his
barback, right?
No, his brother was the head chef, and then he got Steve the job as what were we expediters, and then he got me hired as an expediter. And then
what did
slowly
the
I moved up.
expediter do?
We had the keys to the beer room, the liquor room. We'd set up the mats and clean the bar area and get them ice and refill them with beer.
So you had like the bartenders at the top of the food chain, and then the bar backs below that, and then like you were below the bar back.
Correct.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
for those of you who don't know, and I would expect almost none of you listening
Beach,
would,
yeah.
the beach was this epic, like legendary nightclub in Las Vegas back before the casinos had all the nightclubs. At the time, there was a few nightclubs that were off the strip, and a couple that were just right off the strip, like the Shark Club and a couple other different places.
right, Utopia.
The-
whatever,
No,
but yeah.
Utopia was after, like all
Oh,
that
because that was
stuff.
the same place. Regardless, Trevor.
The casinos actually didn't have nightclubs back then because they thought it'd take away from the gambling.
Yeah.
Right.
So there was only two clubs. They were both off the strip, the beach, which was world famous. They do live spots on the radio. And then there was the drink
Yeah.
off Koval.
yeah.
something
right.
or
I
another.
remember that. Yeah, like Koval and Harmon, something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
I remember the drink
Yeah.
used to do wet T-shirt contests.
Yeah, and then
That's fun.
Dude.
yeah, the casinos didn't want to have clubs, and then eventually they seen how much money we were making, and that's
Right.
when Raw went to Luxor, and then Light opened up somewhere.
And Studio 54 and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
and then that
Oh,
killed the
yeah.
ones off the strip, like the beach and drink, because
that was
nobody
it.
would leave the strip.
Yeah,
Right.
it was game over. Yeah, so at the time you were what 21 working there, right, or 22 at the beach?
Yeah, I got hired at 21 years old. It was Thanksgiving weekend. I'm sure you remember this story. I had to get my sheriff's card and my health card and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was reaching out to my parents to get my birth certificate so I could get the my
Sheriff's card or
sheriff's
whatever,
card
yeah.
and stuff. And I couldn't get a hold of anybody. And I remember just being pissed off because I had like one day to get all this stuff because it was Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah.
And that's when Rich was sitting there, and I was so pissed off, I just threw the pen as hard as I could into the wall.
Oh yeah, that's right. It
I
disappeared
remember.
into the
And
nether
it
void.
disappeared.
And it never showed up again.
Yeah.
Montego Bay. Like, we looked for it for a long time.
It went to Narnia.
Yeah,
Like,
and
it's just gone.
It's a small apartment. There's only so many places it can be. We looked in the couch. We moved shit, and even when we moved out, it was still
like, the pen
in
was
our
just
head.
gone. It just
Where did
vaporized.
this pen? Yeah, never did find that pen.
Yeah,
So-
we thought for sure we'd find it when we moved out. You know, maybe got hidden under a
Yeah.
couch or something. But
Nope.
nope,
No.
never.
And so to this day, like when it's something disappears and you can't find it, and you find it, I bet you find that blue pen too.
Yeah, that's back when I had a cannon still. I could probably
Yeah,
hit
fire that thing.
mid 80s miles per hour throwing a baseball.
Right. Yeah.
So there was a story I wanted to get to though, and it's one
Well,
winter.
I want to
Go
talk
ahead.
about his application because I remember Trever would say just these unhinged things that came out of nowhere. And one of the questions on one of the tests that you had to take
Yep,
was,
yep,
did
I
you
know where you're
learn
going.
anything today that surprised you? And what was your answer?
This was it wasn't a job application. You can't put this on there, but it was like a health department. They had a class we all had to
Right.
show up to, and that's what they put. It was, what did you learn in today's class that you didn't think you'd learn? And I put that my balls don't fit in my cat's mouth. And I showed a few people, and they thought it was pretty hilarious.
That is
And
pretty hilarious.
I'd have liked to have been there when they
my
when they
God.
found that answer on there.
That is genius. They probably have that on a wall somewhere. It's
Right.
still sitting up.
Yeah.
It's their Hall of Fame.
Do we need to call animal control for this?
Yeah, luckily it was anonymous, so I didn't have to put
You
my
didn't
name
put your
on
name
it.
on it.
No.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
animal control would have came to your
Yeah,
house.
right.
What
If
are
I
you
did,
doing?
it would have been Alan or something else.
Yeah. Yeah, Trevor's early history with living things back at that apartment too was all right. You had this this really heartfelt attachment to a little tiny Christmas tree.
Yeah.
That was like 3 feet, like
Not
not
even,
even
dude.
like a foot
Dude, it
tall
was like
or something.
8 inches tall.
Yeah, it was this tiny little tree. And what did you name it?
That was because of the Madden on the N64. He was the bus.
Yeah,
The
it was
bus.
Jerome Bettis. Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, I remember. I forgot about that playing Madden where you would be Pittsburgh and you would just yell out, "I am the bus!"
Yeah, because he'd run over everybody
Yeah.
and just plow through into the end zone.
Good time.
Do you remember that time where like they had instant replay and you could move it around?
Yeah.
And they tackled. How'd that work? I got tackled, right?
Okay.
Or I was playing defense, and I tackled the guy, and then the running back just stood up, shrugged me off after I tackled, and then ran in the end zone. We were like, what the hell was that?
College football is still they haven't
still does
they
that.
haven't completely gotten rid of that.
Like sometimes a guy will just, that's it, I'm just still
Yeah.
awake, and he's going to keep going.
Dude, playing yesterday,
Yeah.
I had like a I was on defense, had like a 3rd and 15, and the computer throws this long pass down the sideline. Their receiver goes up for it, makes the catch, comes down, and when he hits the ground, the ball goes flying.
Should be fumble.
Yeah, no, it's a fucking incomplete pass. Fuck you, dude.
Oh, I thought maybe like he landed, then you tackled
No.
him.
We know
just
who
as soon as
programmed
you-
that part.
Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, as soon as he hits the ground, the ball pops out, and I'm like, all right, dude, that's an incomplete pass. And it goes out of bounds, and they call it a goddamn fumble. And when I challenge it, the computer doesn't understand that that's what I'm trying to challenge. And they're just like, yeah, dude, it went out of bounds. What do you want? Hey, you motherfuckers. Yeah. All right.
Did you win that game?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Is that the new college football?
Yeah,
Yeah.
26. Yeah, it is really good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you should listen to the episode of when I sell him on it. It's
Yeah.
the game's solid.
All right, dude. So
I
what's-
told you
go ahead.
how I'll start listening to the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember. What was the rule? Having you on it?
No. It's when I start ranting about little kids playing sports,
yeah, that's
which I
right.
already did, but he wants me to do an entire episode.
Yeah,
So-
dude, they're terrible.
Yeah.
So, all right, dude, I'm looking at our outline for this episode.
Yeah.
What is this about the fridge?
So
like using the fridge.
Okay, so when we used to live together, I
Yeah.
know that apartment had a fridge.
Uh-huh.
I don't ever remember putting anything in it ever. Like I
Maybe
cannot
leftover
recall.
pizza. I would have been at Little Caesars.
So
at the
the
time.
only things that I remember ever eating there are pizza,
Yeah.
ramen, which doesn't need a fridge, and pizza and ramen.
Right.
And that's it. And
Yeah,
so the only thing that might have been in that fridge was beer.
This was our apartment on American Pacific.
This was any apartment.
What, any apartment? Yeah, that's true. Right, like what would we have put in there that? Yeah, because dude, we had stuff come out of the freezer. Like we would get frozen chicken patties for dirt ass cheap and keep those in the freezer and then like microwave them every once in a while. And dude, when we lived on Annie Oakley, me, Andre, and Rory. When we moved out, we had to go back like a week later to clean out the apartment so we could try to get our deposit because we needed that $82 desperately.
Yeah.
And the power had been turned off.
Dude, I bet you it was
we had
rancid.
the frozen chicken patties in the freezer. And dude, when we opened that freezer door, it was like being punched in the face with
death.
Yeah, dude, it was so fucking awful.
So did you get that $82 back?
Yeah.
I think we did. Yeah, I think we did. Yeah. We just took the fridge and dumped it out in the desert somewhere.
I think I'd have left that.
So there was a story though that I wanted to get to because it's one of my favorite stories. And so one winter, we got everybody in the apartment was sick. We all started getting sick.
Motherfuckers!
And it was this gnarly like sinus/chest cold
Right, just
problem.
making that brown snot.
Yeah,
that you can
brown,
taste.
green, black snot that dude would just clog you up.
And we had no health insurance.
Yeah, no health insurance, no nothing. And so when you get, you'd start coughing, you'd like start hacking up these big things of lung butter.
Yeah.
And
I
it
also
had
didn't
to
have
go
sick
somewhere.
leave at the time. You guys probably didn't either back then.
And so what we
No.
would do, because we'd often just be like right in the living room and the front door was like steps away.
Yeah, small apartment.
So you just open up the front door and you just hawk one like into the rocks or wherever,
Right.
straight ahead. Well, eventually one day, I forget exactly how it started, but we turned and hawked one kind of sideways,
Yeah.
and it went in Alan's shoes.
Right. So at the time, working at Little Caesars, I didn't have any fucking money. I sure
No.
as hell couldn't afford to buy new shoes.
Yeah, I want to go ahead and just apologize now for this behavior.
And
Yeah.
so my shoes were old, they were falling apart, and they stunk.
Oh, yeah.
And it
And
was like,
if your place was like my pizza place, you'd get the mushed up cheese in your little treads,
And,
and
like,
you didn't want to
dough
track it
and
around the
stuff.
apartment.
Yeah,
Oil
dough would be stuck
and
to it.
grease
Right,
and-
exactly.
yeah.
The shoes were disgusting.
Yeah.
And so, as a courtesy, I'm leaving them outside the door. And so, as a courtesy in return, you motherfuckers.
So I think the first time I hawked one into Alan's shoe, right, I might have said something to Trevor like, hey, guess what I just did? And Trevor came out and looked at it and probably found it hilarious, right? And then just thought, well, this is what we're going to do now, is every time just come out there, and if Alan's shoes just happen to be in the way, oh well, right? And so, dude, it
motherfuckers.
was cruel. It was wrong, right? I'm an adult now.
Yeah,
but at
we-
the time...
We didn't really do it on purpose.
I don't
it was
remember
just
it being on purpose.
No.
It would just kind of happen, but poor Alan's shoes would have just this disgusting lung butter, just like in them, on them, and dude, it was so bad.
I
but
learned not to trust these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That they're going to do things like, again, being roommates with Trevor was pretty easy because we didn't do much to fuck up the apartment. You just kind of keep it status quo. But with a third person in there, with an additional person's additional stuff, everything became crowded, cluttered, and then we got 3 people making messes. Like when you have 2 people making messes and like half a person cleaning up,
It's not so
that
bad. Yeah,
but when you have 3 people making messes,
still only half a person cleaning
then
up,
things get bad.
The toughest part was being the one roommate that wasn't fucking each other.
yeah. Most of your mess could be cleaned up with tissues.
Yeah.
We had
100%.
yeah. So anyway,
It still amazes me this day. You would bring home girls to there, and they would walk into that apartment and still be like, "All right." You
They
know?
were young and broke too, and
Yeah.
a couple Miller Lights or
Yeah,
whatever.
we were on the same level. You know.
Yeah.
feeding them free drinks at the beach. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. That's a good wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I take a trip. I leave to go to San Diego probably to
Yeah.
visit my parents, and I'm gone for the weekend or whatever it is. And then when I come back,
Yeah.
I open the front door to this apartment, and you and Trevor are just sitting there on the couch,
Probably playing video games.
probably playing video games, and above you, the ceiling, we're on the first floor.
Yeah.
The ceiling is like caved in. There's
It
all
had
the
a popcorn
on
ceiling,
the
yeah.
ceiling, and it was all like peeling off.
It was gone.
Yeah, there was shit on the ground. Like the ceiling had just
Caved in.
disintegrated,
Yeah.
essentially. And I look at it, and I'm like, what the hell did you guys do?
So I think, though, before this happened, I want to say that we called you down in San Diego.
maybe you had primed it a little bit?
Yeah, that we called you in San Diego, and we told you that we had a party. Right?
Yeah.
And that...
I don't think that was dropped until we were actually in front of me.
See, I remember it being that we told you on the phone, this way because we knew that you weren't going to come back for like 2 more days, and that you would just stew over what...
Maybe. That sounds like something I would do.
And I think we had told you, like, yeah, there was some damage and this and that, and, things... We had this party, and things got a little out of control. And then that we told you that during the party, people had taken...
No, that was definitely when I got
That was
back.
it? Oh, that was
yeah,
it.
because I'm
Yeah.
like, what the hell did you guys do? And they're like, well, we had a party.
Yeah.
That's a party. And then Trevor, whoever says,
With hoses.
So the idea being that somehow during this party we'd hook the hose up outside,
Yeah.
run it inside, and just started spraying water everywhere.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Because it was clearly water damage.
Yeah, and
oh
so,
my God, dude.
And I think, dude, you
the look on my
Yeah.
face.
So,
Priceless.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about a fucking head exploding.
Dude,
You,
the
first
disappointment.
off, you believed it, which was funny in itself, and me and Trevor tried to play it pretty close to the vest.
And I think we did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, like, we sat there kind of with that bewildered look on our face, like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, like,
Hey, what
why
do you
are you
want?
so mad?
We had a party.
Yeah,
Hoses got brought out.
yeah, as they do.
Right.
And so this whole thing, and then eventually, like, you were so mad, and we just kind of had to tell you, like, no, dude, like, the guy upstairs, his water broke, like, in the house or whatever.
Right.
He was
And-
pregnant?
Yeah, well, like,
Yeah.
whatever, his
pipe
dishwasher
burst or
exploded
something,
or
yeah.
something.
Whatever it was.
Washing
It was the
machine.
people upstairs.
Yeah, and it had just, had filtered down through the walls and into the house, and it peeled, like, all the goddamn popcorn ceiling off the ceiling.
Yep.
And I remember we were home at the time that it started happening. We were like, what the fuck is going on? As the ceiling just started coming down like it was dripping.
Yeah,
Right.
water
And so,
everywhere.
Yeah. I know we're running short on time, but so
Yeah.
we won't get to when we moved.
That's
Hey,
all right. There'll
hey,
be
yeah.
more episodes. Yeah.
Real
Yeah.
quick, you left out the best part of the shoe
Yeah.
story is
Oh,
I
no.
remember Alan left them to the left of the
Now I remember.
to the left of the
Oh,
doorway.
I remember too.
And this is where we learned that we were all on the same brain link. So we finally spit to the right, and then it was like, oh, fuck, his shoes are there now. And
I moved
yeah.
them to get them out of the line of fire.
And so we tried to turn our fire somewhere else, and still was into Alan's shoes. It was just destined to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just
awesome.
nature at that point.
Yeah. Dude, I
Oh,
think,
my
yeah,
God.
dude, it's a banger episode, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. All right, our closing sponsor today
let's get to it, man.
is Deep Dick's Fishing Bar in
Nice.
Storm Lake, Iowa. And they have revamped their to-go menu.
Okay.
So almost everything that's on their regular menu is now available to go.
Yeah.
And so they want to let you know that you come down to the fishing bar,
Yeah.
and you put your order in advance. They got an app
Like
now.
Uber Eats.
Yeah, like Uber
pick
Eats.
it up.
Right. And so now, anytime you want, you can eat a bag of dicks.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, just take a bag of dicks home with you.
You're right. Exactly. Yep. So I think that's it, dude.
Yeah. All right. For Anthony Scafacci.
And
Trevor.
There. Perfect. I'm
Me,
Alec
Trevor,
Geekax.
mad.
Yeah, I'm Alec Geekax. Go ahead.
This has been a balls deep production of the Scaffachiverse podcast. We are out.